whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. That's not me. Boom. Strange Harvest 2025, made by the maker of Brave Encounters. I think that came out 17 years ago. It's been a damn while since I've seen it. And safe to say, Stuart Ortiz has still got it after such a long damn time. Uh, he's able to make maybe my favorite mockumentary movie I've ever seen. I don't really like mockumentary movies. I don't like found footage movies either necessarily. And I think mockumentaries kind of fall into that vein because half of the movie is sort of like found footagey, and the other half is documentary, obviously. I think this movie is maybe perfect at being a mockumentary. I see a lot of complaints. People think this movie's boring, and they think this movie is unrealistic. Um, don't know you expected. The I think the trailers kind of same with weapons. They kind of tell a different story what the movie's gonna be. I thought this was gonna be a slasher movie. I think a lot of people thought this was gonna be a slasher movie. I mean, maybe just from the one trailer I saw, I thought this was gonna be a slasher movie, and I hate mockumentary movies. So when the movie started, I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm kind of screwed." And no, it delivered. It was one of the most authentic mockumentaries I've ever seen. I think something a lot of these movies struggle to do is to separate the documentary side and separate the found footagey side from looking and feeling completely different. And I really fucking hate that. For example, I tried watching The Taking of Deborah, and I'm sorry, I didn't watch the fucking movie. I watched 5 minutes of it. That movie sucked. I couldn't do it. It's actually way more boring than this. If people think that this is boring, don't watch that fucking movie because that movie's way more boring. And what I hate about that movie even more is the interview sides and the found footage side look exactly the same. That makes no sense to me. What I appreciate so much about this movie is that the documentary side feels so authentic and it feels like something you'd see on TV when you're little, sitting in the living room with your parents maybe. They wouldn't be watching this one, of course, because like I said earlier, people think it's too unrealistic that this would be even on a TV. It's a movie. It's fine. It really is fine. Um and by the way, if this was on TV, it'd be like the biggest documentary of like all time because it's fucking insane. The killer is awesome. His design here and the one you saw 5 seconds into this video is sick. It's up there with Hard Eyes, I think, for killer design of the year. I really love Hard Eyes, so it's kind of hard to beat that. But the idea behind this costume being probably a real person's face he's wearing, because he went around collecting human body parts throughout the movie. Wouldn't be surprised if that's a real human's face either. It's fucking cool though. It's very sick. Not cool in like a wow I want to do that way, but like cool in like a that's creepy type of way. This movie's awesome. I'm really happy that horror movies this year are taking a very different route. I think with mockumentary movies, they're either very low budget movies that no one really likes, or they're just straight to Netflix movies. And I'm happy this one didn't go straight to Netflix because I think in another year, maybe a decade ago, this would have gone straight to a streaming service. And I'm happy I got to see this in theaters. It felt like I was living in a moment. Even though I don't think extremely highly of this movie, I still think it does an amazing job. And the actors of this movie are very good. I think another problem with found footage movies and mockumentaries is that the acting and the script in those movies are utter dog shit. Whoever did the script in this movie is genius. The casting of this movie was really great because they seem to understand that you don't have to try hard to feel like an actual human being. It's a problem with a lot of low budget movies, found footage mockumentary movies as well, is the actors are trying way too hard to feel authentic, or they're trying way too hard to feel modern in dialogue. I'm happy it's not like that. I think, like I said, in another world, if this was 10 years ago, the dialogue in this movie would have been dog shit. But I don't think it would have been a Stuart Ortiz movie either. And I'm happy it did go to him because Grave Encounters is one of it is going to end up being a classic. I think it's in the scariest movies all time list. Not that I think it's like that scary, but It deserves to be, and I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he made Strange Harvest. It just sucks how underrated this movie's gonna be, especially releasing the same week as Weapons. No one's gonna watch this. It's a damn shame. A lot of theaters aren't even gonna have this, and I think by next week this movie's gonna be gone. But I think Strange Harvest is amazing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I don't want to get too much into it because it is fucking creepy. The only thing I didn't really care for, there's like in the 20 to 30 minute mark, I want to say it's pretty boring. There's a solid like 10 to 15 minutes where like you want to get out. So I understand why people think this movie's boring. Mockumentaries isn't for anyone. It's definitely not for me, but I think this one caught my eye, and I'm happy I did watch it. Strange Harvest was really awesome. And with that, I'm giving Strange Harvest a 7 out of 10. My review score might have went up a bit. My viewing experience might have went up a bit just because I watched Sketch immediately before this movie. But Strange Harvest is great. I hate mockumentaries, and I like this movie, so that should say something about Strange Harvest. I think it is one of the most authentic movies I've seen this year in terms of mockumentaries, or in this 2020s decade, I should say, not this year. Um, and like I was glazing before, Stuart Ortiz does a great job. Great comeback to horror. So shout out Stuart Ortiz and shout out the Strange Harvest whole cast and crew. This movie was very fun, authentic, and it looked good. So go watch Strange Harvest.